Welcome to RidgeLife. I'm Tim, and today we are working on our Hustler FasTrak Super Duty. If you've got one of these, you know that the Hydrogear ZT-3100 transaxle leaks like a sieve. They had a little defect in the housing covers made out of aluminum, and those gaskets, those O-rings in there, they would flatten out over time and you would get drip, drip, drip everywhere. We're going to fix that today. The FasTrak Super Duty by Hustler is an amazing machine. It's American made, it's got steel deck. It's 60-inch cut on this bad boy. Again, the FasTrak Super Duty is one step below commercial, a little bit above residential. We've got a lot of acres here on the ridge to mow, so it works great for us. But there is that Hydrogear issue. Now, Hydrogear is a repairable transaxle, which is great, but it does have its issues. So these leaks from this O-ring get progressively worse, and then all of a sudden, you know, if you run your transaxles without fluid, you're going to have a bad day. They will fail quickly, and they are not cheap. But the fix today is cheap, and we'll show you what we're going to do. Before we take the covers off our hydrostatic transmissions, we need to degrease all this. And what we're going to use today is our Super Clean foaming and Super Clean aerosol degreaser. We're going to spray these down, get all of this on these two transaxles, get all of this grease off of there so we do not contaminate our hydraulic system. This is our ZT-3100 Hydrogear transmission for our FasTrak Super Duty. And you can see this right here is our plate. This is the plate we're going to be removing. These are 3/8-inch bolts. We'll take these two bolts out, and this plate will go, and there's a gear inside there. And you want to make sure you keep the orientation correct, okay? Don't turn this around. We'll put it back on just the way it comes. And under the plate, attached to the Hydrogear transmission, is our O-ring. And you're going to see it's going to be flattened compared to the new one. The new one's nice, smooth, and round. So let's go ahead and get this plate off. Once I get the bolts loosened up all the way, again, these 3/8 bolts will just come right out, keep a hold of the plate, keep my pressure on the bottom, and just drop it down. And you can see there's the gearing right there. Now we're going to keep this orientation just the way it is, and that all looks good. I don't see anything tore apart, eaten up in there, so the gearing looks good. I'm going to set this down in my pan just in the same orientation that I took it off. You can see we've got everything cleaned up. You definitely want to make sure everything stays clean. There's the O-ring in its seat, and you want to use a fine screwdriver, poke that out right there, and it should just pop right out. Get that right in there. There we go. It's going to come out. Boom. And you can see this thing has flattened. We can see this old O-ring has flattened itself out, just as flat as it can be. And the new O-ring is nice and round, and it is a 5250. That's the OEM genuine Hydrogear part. It's a 137.103 by 2.050. Now I will put, again, all these part numbers together at the end of the video, and I'll also have them in the description of the video so for easy, quick reference. Now I'm going to put the new O-ring in the seat. Should fit very, very snug. Get it popped in there. Once I get it popped in, you definitely don't want to have any of it hanging out, because if it hangs out, it can get pinched, and then you won't get a good seal. There we go, got that in. So now I'm going to grab my Hydrogear cover. Again, put it on the same orientation I had it. Slide it right up there. Should go right in. Start my 3/8-inch bolts. Again, I clean the mating surface for the plate and the base, that way no debris gets caught up in there. Now they do have a repair kit for this. It is a new cover, a gear, and an O-ring, but really all you need is the O-ring unless your cover got damaged. And the new cover is steel instead of aluminum. The aluminum is real soft, and so they got to upgrade to get that a lot more durable. So once I get this seated, we should be good to go, and we'll move on to the next one. You don't need to see that, and then we'll start this thing up. Time to fill our reservoir up. We are going to be using Castrol GTX 20W50 motor oil. The ZT-3100 calls for a 20W50 motor oil weight gear oil for this system. So let's go ahead and get this. We're going to fill it completely up. You don't want to top it off though. Let's see if we can get it in without spilling. And it will just slowly take it down each transmission. There's 2 fill lines that come off this reservoir, and we're going to fill it up to the top, but we won't top it off when it gets done filling. So I fill it up to the top and I'll be able to see, there we go, how much it takes. We've filled our reservoir, but really the best way to do it is to fill each transaxle itself through the fill plug with an adapter kit and a hose. I don't have that, so I filled up the reservoir, and we're gonna have to go through the air purge procedure, and that should draw in that oil, and I'll have to fill that again. So what you gotta do is open the bypass valve. There's one right here next to this side of the engine for that transaxle. There's one right there for this side. You take it from the front position to the back, that's bypass. And what that's gonna do is when you run it, the drive wheels will not spin. So we'll be able to take the brakes off the handholds and drive it back and forth about 12 times, and that should draw in that oil. And then we'll do the same thing. We'll change the bypass valve position so the drive wheels will turn, and then we'll close the brakes. Now you have to make sure that your vehicle is lifted off the ground on jack stands. You don't want this thing taking off on you. Bring in the arms, the brakes will release, drive it back and forth a few times, get all that air out. The air purge method is very simple. With both bypass valves in the bypass position, we're going to start it and we're going to run forward and back about 12 to 20 times, very slowly, getting all the air out. This is how you do it. You can hear the hydro gear working. Should be getting out all that air there. We'll do this again about 12 to 20 times. You can see the wheels don't spin on this test. The final step in the air purge procedure is to change positions of the bypass valves to allow the transaxles to engage the wheels. We'll start it up and do the same 12 to 20 evolutions, get all that air out. You can see the wheels spin now. Again, getting all that air out. When I get done, I'm gonna have to check the reservoir, make sure any air didn't displace the fluid, and I'll have to fill the fluid back up. Again, we'll do this about 12 to 20 times, nice and slowly. We really only used one part today. That was an O-ring for each transaxle, so 2 total. It's a genuine hydro gear part number 52250. The description is O-ring-137.103 times 2.050. Again, that was a genuine hydro gear part 52250. I'll try to put the link down below in the description where I got mine, and hopefully you can click on it and get yours as well. One part, very, very simple. We've got our O-rings fixed. I think the leak is stopped. Everything's balanced out. We've got that the air out of the system. Now let's take it for a spin. What better way to put it through the test than to run it through a swarm of bees? We've got 5 colonies of honeybees here on the ridge. Let's see if we can mow around these bad girls. Hope you enjoyed today's video of us repairing our Hustler FasTrak Super Duty. Again, this is a great American-made machine. It does have a few issues that the average user can take care of. I did it, you can do it, that's for sure. If you liked today's video, make sure you give it a thumbs up. Subscribe to RidgeLife if you haven't done so already. Hit that notification bell to be notified anytime a new video comes out on RidgeLife. Till next time, guys, I hope everyone has a blessed day, and go RidgeLife.